Hey, what is up guys? It is Needle. In today's video I will be covering a topic that is actually requested a lot. You guys are always asking, hey, how do I improve my AR aim? But more importantly, how do I improve my shotgun aim? Because personally, I feel like shotgun aim is actually a lot more valuable nowadays in Fortnite, just because when you shoot somebody with your AR, they're going to build right away. It's going to be very hard to finish somebody off with purely the AR. So the AR is more about getting chip damage off and then leading up to building up to them or rushing them to get your shotgun shot off. And just to get it out of the way to make it clear for you guys, this is going to be based around the pump shotguns in Fortnite. I do not pick up the tax unless I really have to at the beginning and I have nothing else, but just with all the recent updates and how they've added in the gold and the purple pump, it's going to be realistic that you need to take a pump just because it's going to allow you to hit that one shot to kill someone. It provides the most damage you can possibly hit for, so this is going to be based around my experience with the pump shotgun. I would like to thank you guys first though for all the recent support, and especially in my most recent aiming video on how to use aim assist. You guys went absolutely crazy. I think it's at 50,000 views and a couple thousand likes. So if you guys can do the same, if we can smash another 1,000 likes on this video, I'll make sure to make another installment of my shotgun aiming guide. But that's all for me. Let's get right into the tips. And the way this shotgun guide is going to work, I'll break it down to 5 separate categories that I'll cover extensively. The first would be when to aim your shotgun shot compared to when to hip fire your shot. The next is how to frame or track your enemy while you or your opponent is moving. And the next would be using your movement towards your advantage in a shotgun fight. Then after that, we'll cover how to align your body and yourself with your shots before you actually shoot. And the next would be using your complementary weapons, which are basically just your SMG or a deagle, towards your advantage when you are fighting. And the way it'll work is I'll explain it beforehand, give you guys a general idea of how it works, give you some tips with it. Then after that, I'll break down an in-game footage or a clip I have from the past, or even go into creative just to show you guys how it would work in-game. The first tip at hand here is when you want to actually aim your shotgun in compared to when you want to just hip fire or no scope your shotgun shot. And this is something I see a lot of newer players mess up just because they watch some of the streamers like Tfue or Ninja, and they tend to go for crazier shotgun shots. If they pick up a tack, they'll go for flicks just for fun, and that's just not the case in Control. You're not going to be able to get away with it. You're going to want to actually aim in when you have the chance. So the rule of thumb here is if you have an extra half second or so to actually aim in with your pump and to line up that headshot or an upper body shot, go for it. And the situation you'll see here is if you're sneaking up behind someone from the side, basically if they don't see you or don't hear you, you're going to want to aim in your shotgun shot and just ensure you can hit that headshot. The only real issue with aiming in every shotgun shot is that you're going to make yourself a still target. Sure, you could line the shot up beforehand and just aim in to make sure you hit it, but that little half second to second that you're sitting still is just another second somebody could pump you right back in the face. So it's something to keep in mind, especially since Fortnite is very fast paced. Everyone's always moving around and building. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of shots anymore where someone actually takes a shot and stands still after. Everyone's just going to shoot and build, so it's something to keep in mind. I think a nice way to think about it is you want to have about 80 to 85% of your shotgun shots be hip fire, and then the other 15 to 20% you can actually line them up and take your time to aim them in. Now I'll show you guys some in-game examples of when it's actually probably best to aim in where you have those extra seconds, so I'll let those roll out and hopefully you can learn something from these clips. And for the next tip with framing your shot up or tracking your opponent, it's going to be easier if I hop into creative. So I'll roll some clips and I'll hop into creative and show you guys how to actually frame your shots on an opponent. Okay guys, I decided to hop into creative for you guys to show you a little setup in a 1x1 that kind of emulates what it would be like in real game. So the way framing really works is, let's say we're in Tilted right now. I know it's hypothetical or just in creative. So let's say we're in Tilted and we're running through a doorway. There is no need to have any kind of wasted crosshair space. And what I mean by this is, if you're running through here and you know there may be a guy nearby, there's no need to be aiming over here, just because you know they have to come out this doorway. You want to be framing up your shot beforehand. So look where I have my crosshair right now. This is a good example of framing your shot up just in case if they do walk by, you're already at their head and you can just lay an easy pump shot because you're already ready for the shot. It just makes it that much easier, and if you kind of just have an idea of where your opponent would be, line up your crosshair beforehand and kind of let them walk into it. That's the whole idea of framing your shot. And this way you don't have to run by and go for some crazy flick or something. Like, it just makes it that much easier because the more you try to flick around and do anything on your thumbstick, it's just going to make your shot that much harder. That's why it is so much easier just to frame your shot up. So as I said, let's imagine this is Tilted. I do have a moving target in there, so it will look pretty nice. This is the best example I can give for you guys. It's something you just need to make a mental note of, and just kind of something you need to apply to your game and make a habit of. So, and boom, just like that. As you guys can see, I didn't have to move my crosshair very much. I'll do it again. Don't have to move my crosshair at all. I'm basically already lining up a shot, framing it. I'm kind of priming the shotgun shot. I'll do it one more time just to get the point across. But boom, don't have to move your crosshair. Pretty simple stuff. hopefully that made it easier, and hopefully you guys can apply this, because I think this is the biggest thing you should take away from this if you take away anything. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the little explanation on framing or priming your shot. The next thing we're going to talk about is your movement in your shotgun fights, and also this is going to apply to not moving too much, just because you don't want to be that bunny rabbit jumping around in every shotgun shot. You're not going to be able to flick everyone in your shot, so try just to stay still and stay on the ground, unless you're above somebody and you're jumping down. I completely understand that, but in general, try not to jump up and take shots, just because, like I said, going to cause for unnecessary flicks that are just going to make your shotgun shots harder to hit. But I think there are definitely ways you can move in your shotgun fights without moving too much to make your shots hard to hit, and also not standing too still to the point where everyone's just going to shoot you. And the two main ways, I think, and the things that I think you should learn are, one, being able to crouch and crouching properly in fights. I'll cover that a little bit in a sec. And the other one would be right side peeking, which I'm sure you're familiar with, but I'll cover it again just to show you guys how effective it is. So I'll play a clip right now of me and Creative actually going against the same bot, but getting shots off and crouching right after. As you guys can see, I'll take a shot, but I don't crouch like up and down. It's not that. It's more about getting a shot off and then crouching to the left or the right and moving with it. So what this does, it makes almost like a drift motion. I do a little cut when I do the crouch, so it actually makes a really unpredictable movement. And like I've been saying, the worst thing you can do is make yourself that still predictable target. You want to have unpredictable movement in a shotgun fight. This is a really good way to do it. As you guys can see, I get the shot off and actually make a really quick movement that's going to mess somebody up. From their point of view, they'll just be looking to take the shot, then get one off themselves, and then right away they get hit, and then boom, you're crouching and moving out of the way, and you're messing up their aim and making them go for a harder shot. So I think this is actually really effective. If you could use it in shotgun shots, you'll see it a lot. It'll make a big difference in your gameplay. The next thing I want to talk about with crouching, though, is there's a way to crouch faster on controller. So if you go to your binds, I made a whole video on this, but I'll just explain it here for you guys. If you go to your binds, change your crouch bind to just pure crouch. It should be on crouch/repair by default. Get rid of the repair one, just have pure crouch, and you'll actually be able to crouch faster. For whatever reason, I think it's just because it's the main action. It allows you to crouch a little bit faster, so mess around with that and see if it helps you out with your shotgun shots. And now as far as right side peeking goes, I'm going to assume most of you guys know this for the most part. It's a pretty simple, it's an old tip, but I'll cover it again just for the ones that don't. I'll make it pretty quick though. So basically, the whole point of right side peeking is when you move to the right with your shotgun, you're going to be exposing less of your body, because for whatever reason, your Fortnite model, your Fortnite character, they hold your shotgun or just guns in general, they're going to hold it from the right side. So what this does is when you aim to the right, you have to expose less of your body compared to when you move to the left. You have to expose more of your body on the left side, which makes you an easier, easier target, because you'll be exposing yourself without being able to shoot. So I'll do the same thing. I'll roll a creative clip of what it looks like to right side peek compared to left side peeking to show you how much more you expose yourself. Alright, same thing here, boys. We're going to do the same thing. We're back in creative. We got the same target. So I'll show you guys again. So as you guys can see, the doorway's on the right side. It shouldn't make a difference. But when I'm aiming it, it's going to be easier to go like this and then aim compared to being on the left side, because it's going to be showing my left shoulder. So doing this is not ideal, going from the left and then aiming in. Like I said, you're going to be exposing more of your body. So in general, you're never going to want to be in the spot that I'm in right now, just because they have a way easier shot and you're exposing yourself. And then on this side, you have to expose less and you can get that shot off that much quicker. So hopefully that explained it for you guys, and hopefully you guys can use that. Now, the next thing we're going to cover is aligning yourself or your body of your character with the other opponent when you're going to shoot them or before you shoot them. This is going to be a really weird tip, and I'm not sure if anyone's ever covered this before. It's something that I've actually started to do recently, just because I've always struggled when anybody gets really, really close to me in a shotgun fight or just any engagement. If they're like up in my face, for whatever reason, I just kind of choke up a little bit and I can't hit a shot. What I'll end up doing is just like panicking, freaking out. I'm sure you guys probably do this too. They're way too close and you just try to flick your thumbstick up and just try to hit some crazy shot, and it's just not going to work. So what I've learned to do is taking your time and lining yourself up and then actually shooting from there. So what this will do is just create less movement for you. So if you actually line your body up and you're just looking right in front of them, you can't miss. So I'll play an example that'll make it a little bit easier to understand while I'm in tilted, and you'll see. So I get really close and I don't shoot right away. That's not the point. I don't want to flick up. I don't want to make some jerky movement. I wait a little bit, realign myself, and let myself catch up. I get my pump shot off. It doesn't kill him right away. Then I switch to my SMG and do the same thing and keep tracking and keep framing him in the shot. I'll play it right here. Hopefully this makes it easy for you guys to understand. hopefully those 2 clips showed you guys that you just have to really align yourself up with somebody before you take your shot, just because it creates less flicking and less movement you have to do on your thumbstick. Like I said, you're not going to be able to flick on a thumbstick. That's just how it is on a controller. You got to be able to work around and kind of just line yourself up, almost like looking them in the eyes, and just move wherever they go. If they move to the left, match their movement so you're always looking at them, and that way, when it's time to get the pump out, it's that much easier. So hopefully those 2 clips showed you guys how important it is to actually align yourself up when you're really close to somebody, just because when you get in a 1-by-1, it's really easy to panic and try to go for a crazy shot. And this will help you develop some patience and understand how to get better shots off when somebody's really close to you. And then the next tip we have at hand here is using your complementary weapons. And basically what this is just whatever weapon you use after you get your pump shot off. For many of us, it's the SMG. I personally like the Deagle because if they're building with wood, you can spray right through their builds with it and break it. But regardless, what this does is, because since it is a pump shotgun, you have to take your shot, there's going to be about a 0.6 to 0.7 second delay. I'm not sure exactly, do not quote me on that, but there's a little bit of a delay where you can take another pump shot. It's not like attack where you can keep spraying. So what you need to do in this time frame is switch to another weapon real quick and get more damage done, break their building, or do whatever you want to do with it. Just land more shots. A nice rule of thumb I would say is if you have an SMG or an AR, get your pump shot off and then try to get like anywhere between the range of like 7 to 10 SMG or AR shots off and spray them down with that or break their builds. And what this will allow you to do is, just because once you shoot your shotgun, you're not going to want to just sit there and wait for it to cock back, just because it's not ideal. That's a lot of time you're wasting and standing still. Like I'm saying, the last thing you want to do is be a still target. Get your shot off, and then switch to an SMG, an AR, or Deagle, try to land some more damage, then switch right back. That's the biggest issue. Is many times people, they'll switch to their complementary weapon, but they'll spray the whole clip down. You don't want to do that. The pump is going to do more damage than an SMG, even if you hit a headshot. So try to get like 5 to 10 shots off, and then try to switch back. Get in the habit of switching back right away. This was the biggest issue for one of my friends. He switched over. He plays keyboard and mouse now, but he never really worked his binds out for his weapons. His weapon binds were really uncomfortable for him, I guess. So what he would do is he would take a pump shot, and then wait, and then let them build above him or let them land more shots while he waited for it to pump back. Don't do that. It's not ideal. It's not going to work for you. So learn actually how to use your complementary weapon. It's going to make a big difference. And if you don't want to use it, get a pump shot off and build a wall and a ramp and try to get height. So either way, just learn how to actually make use of the delay, because it's supposed to be in your favor. While they're sitting there waiting for their shotgun to pump back, you're going to be sitting there getting height or landing more shots. Those were the 5 tips. I hope you guys can really make something of those and make habits out of them, just because if you do apply them to your game and you're looking to get better shotgun aim, you will see improvements. Just learn to make habits of them. It's not going to happen overnight. Just like anything, always preach, it takes a little bit of time, takes some practice, and it just takes reps at the end of the day. If you really want to see your shotgun aim improve and use these tips to do the best you can, you're going to want to land tilted every time. You're going to want to land a hot drop, just because you're going to have more close quarter action and more shotgun battles to begin with. And if you want to do something that's maybe less stressful, you don't like landing tilted, I would suggest loading into Turtle Wars, Zone Wars, something along the lines of that, where it's creative, there's no pressure at all, it's just you and your buddies, and just learn how to take some shots and just try different things, because that overall will make you a better player than doing the same old stuff and getting in the same habits. So that's something I would advise for you guys. Just keep practicing, keep going at it. There's even some shotgun aiming courses. I have one myself where it's a shotgun and editing course. It's got a little bit of an aim trainer too, so maybe think about those, but really take these tips here and try to apply them to your game. You will see great improvement. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys do want to see another installment of this, make sure to smash the like button. If you guys haven't already, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a like on the video, leave a comment. You guys did the deal. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you guys later.